Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Calmsden Farm with me, CWATTYESO, here in Farming Simulator 22. We're right here, cultivating field 3. We finished on field 6, and we've got field 3 to do now. And then obviously field 2 comes after this. The harvest contract is still ongoing. It's just taking a while because unfortunately I have to keep waiting for the grain cart to go and empty and then come back, which is taking an absolute that's what makes the contracts, the harvest contracts, so long on this particular map. It's that waiting for the trailer to come back to the field to empty the harvester and let the harvester continue. Obviously, the solution to that would be have another trailer. Have another trailer, or have a bigger trailer. However, with obviously the narrow access to a lot of these fields, and the very narrow navigation of the map, I'm thinking to myself, a bigger trailer is not what I'm after. So I may look at getting another small trailer, but then it's still not going to help me terribly, because I can only have one AI worker hired at a time, can't I? In that aspect. So yeah, I figured I'd come and do some cultivating whilst I'm waiting, because you know, we had a good ride in the harvester in the last episode, didn't we? So let's jump aboard and we'll go and do some proper cultivating. Like I said, get the oilseed radish ploughed in, cultivated in. I'm very disappointed in old Gerald making stones everywhere. And there goes the grain cart now, so he's heading back to the field. Should keep the harvester happy. But yeah, stone collection is a big stone. And they're red stones as well, which means he's pulling up great big massive stones every time. He's not pulling up little stones. He's pulling up great big redonkulous stones with that cultivator. Alright. More harvesting required. My tractor friend back here. My unloader. Come on, where are you? You just went whizzing past the farm, dude, so you can't be far away. There he is. Let's see. He seems to respond better to my request to unload when I'm on this side of the field. Over the other side of the field, forget it. He won't come anywhere near me. He won't move. If I put my pipe out on the far side of the field, He doesn't move. I think I'm out of his range. His detection range or something. Possibly. I don't know. I don't know the full reason, but yeah. I can't get him to unload me over there. I have to manually unload on the far side of the field. So I'm working now, rather than going round and round and round the field in my circles, in my spiral technique, I'm going up and down, working on the side of the field that he will actually unload me on. And then at some point, I imagine I'll reach a point in the field where he will stop coming to me. He won't respond, and at that point, I'll have to manually keep emptying. I'm still doing okay on fuel. Hopefully, I'll be able to complete the field without needing to refill. There's a nice screenshot of the two of us together, working in tandem. I think the contract's about 30% complete, last time I checked. Oh yeah, last time I checked, we was at 30%. Imagine we'll get a little bit more. As we're unloading all the time. There's still a lot to harvest though. You kind of forget how big the fields are on this Calmsden map. These are quite massive fields. And I love it. I love it. I love this map. I love that it looks like, as I say, my local area here in the UK. If I jump in the car and drive 5 minutes in any direction, you end up out of my town and you end up in the countryside. This is how it looks. You know? And then for several miles until you reach the next city. Until you reach one of the cities near me. You know? This is how it looks. I love it. I'd love to see more UK maps, realistic, based on real UK locations, not made up fictional maps. I would definitely love to see some more UK maps. I would definitely be up for playing more UK maps. But yeah, Friday the 8th of April today, ladies and gents. It's just gone 20 past 2 in the afternoon as I'm recording this episode. I'm trying to get 3 episodes recorded today, which obviously translates to a week's worth of videos for you watching on the YouTube channel. And then I recorded 3 episodes of Baylor on earlier in the week, so that's a week's worth. So hopefully I'll get to stay in front. I've had a bit of a disrupted week this week, obviously, with recording and stuff, because Tuesday I spent most of the day unconscious. I was sleeping for most of Tuesday, regaining all the sleep I lost since about Friday evening. Because obviously it was, if you're a WWE fan like I am, it was WrestleMania weekend this weekend. So obviously Friday night we had the Hall of Fame, which here in the UK took place at 3 AM in the morning. And then obviously Saturday we had the whole NXT Stand and Deliver in the afternoon, early evening. And then that was followed by WrestleMania Night 1, Saturday night, which again didn't finish till about 5 AM in the morning on Sunday morning. And then Sunday night, it was obviously WrestleMania Night 2. And that didn't finish till about 5 a.m. again, Monday morning. And then, of course, Monday night you have the Raw, the post-WrestleMania Raw, which, again, didn't finish till about 3 a.m., 4 a.m. here in the UK. So, Tuesday daytime, I was pretty much asleep all day. Didn't wake up till the early evening. Basically, just had my dinner Tuesday night, and then I went back to sleep. Got up, then obviously Wednesday, my birthday. But unfortunately, didn't get to do too much celebrating because I had to go straight out of the house because I had a hospital appointment. Worst scheduled hospital appointment ever. Who thinks it's a good idea to ask someone to go to hospital on their birthday, of all things? You know, how horrible is that, having to go to hospital on your birthday? So I didn't get to do a lot Wednesday, then after I got home, because then I ended up going out anyway with the family in the afternoon. So then that obviously led me to Thursday of this week, yesterday. And yesterday I did my live stream, my birthday live stream that I've done the last couple of years, where I spend the day streaming. Played Ark Survival Evolved for 6 hours, and then did some multiplayer farming, obviously, with Mr. Helgi. Only did about 8 hours yesterday. I didn't do my normal usual, you know, 15, 16 hour live stream. I only did 8 hours yesterday. I was starting to get a bit, again, starting to feel quite tired by the end of it. Again, Wednesday took a lot out of me, energy-wise. So, not been a great week this week for me, in terms of productivity, getting things done. So, here we go now, kind of thing. So that's why I'm trying to record 3 episodes today. I'm kind of lucky today as well that the Formula 1 this weekend is in Australia, which means there's no Formula 1 for me to watch during the day or the early evening, because it all takes place in the early hours of the morning, which means I've TiVo'd it on my Virgin Media box. I've recorded practice 1 and 2, and I can watch them later on this evening while I'm having me dinner. So I'm not being distracted during the daytime whilst the sun is outside as I look out the window, which is actually, just noticed, today's probably the nicest day of the week that we've had this week here in the UK. Certainly in my area of the UK, it's been a pretty miserable week weather-wise. It's been very cloudy. We've had a lot of rain. It's been quite cold. And I attribute that to it being Fair Week here in my town. This week, again, we have basically, it used to always be called the Mid-Lent Fair, because it used to always arrive in the town right in the middle of Lent. But obviously now, because of it going to various other places and various other things and restrictions and stuff, and when the local council will actually grant it permission to close off the main run through the middle of the town, to close off one of the main highways through the centre of town, so that the fair can arrive, set itself up, set up all the rides, all the attractions, and that ran from Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night, closed on Wednesday night. They packed it away Thursday morning, it shipped out Thursday afternoon. So the town's reopened effectively today, my town has. And hence today it's the first day the sun's come out because the fair's gone. Whenever the fair's here, you can guarantee we have bad weather. I think the fair brings it, you know. I think the fair brings the bad weather. I'm convinced. Oh, I'm 60% full. What I'm going to do then, I'm going to chance it. I'm going to go this way and go up this far side of the field so I can keep my pipe out of the crop. Not that the worker's going to come back anytime soon, because he's got that massive long drive up to the grain mill. I haven't actually ridden on board with him to see what route he actually takes to the grain mill and whether I could maybe optimise it a bit differently by adding some additional routes myself, some additional pathways that he could take. I don't know. It seems to be working. He's taking and delivering all the crop. I mean, if I go and look at the production and go and look at the we've got 112,000 litres of barley harvested off this field already. So yeah, all the barley from this contract is being delivered to my grain mill, which is, again, I kind of forgot that when I loaded up. We're getting all the barley. We're basically getting a free barley harvest, lazy. We're getting paid money. We're also getting all the barley that we can then turn into flour and use to bake bread and cakes and loads of wonderful things that we can then sell. So yeah, I'm quite happy about that. Yeah, I'm going to get full. Right, switch off. Save fuel. Go join. He's only just got, you see, he's only just got here, look. He's only just arrived at the grain mill. So yeah, that's not the most efficient unloading there, I would have to say. He's only got 29,820 litres as well. He's not 100% full this time. But we let him off. And there's my lovely field that we made recently. I'm not sure why you're doing a circle, dude. Okay. You weren't sure if you'd unloaded, was that it? Was that what you just did there? You were like, I can't remember if I unloaded or not. I'll just double check. So that's strange that he's backed into that for a second time kind of deal. Okay, that's definitely an interesting way of cultivating this field. Horseplay. You've split the field into two halves. There goes Mr. Grain Cart Man again. We know it's going to take him a long while to get to the field. We do. So we will stay with the cultivator for the moment. Obviously, the next step for me will be to go and get the stone picker hooked up. How are we looking at field stuff? Again, the cows need to sort out about that slurry and stuff, but right now, too much work to do. Turns off the needs rolling. Turns off needs mulching. A little bit of lime required. Missed a spot. But yeah, fertilising's gone well. He's almost made it back. We'll ride with him because then I can run over to the combine, jump in the combine and start her up, put the pipe out and see if he's actually going to respond. Run, 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 run. As fast as we can. And wherever we stop. He's moving. He is moving. So that's probably, okay, maybe two. We just had to do the two headlands. Because obviously down here, we're right on the map edge sort of thing. Maybe he couldn't unload me because I was too close to the map edge. But yeah, he's definitely moving towards me now. That's good. That's 14,000 litres you're going to get, dude. And I hope you're going to be very happy with your 14,000 litres, because I am. And this contract is taking me all day. But yeah, September, the last day of September for me is going to be obviously very, very busy. I'm going to be spending pretty much the whole day doing this single contract, I think. I don't see me getting a chance for me to go off and do any other kind of work. Whether I choose to, depending obviously how fast Gerald gets his cultivating done, whether I can use him to start on some of the tasks like the stone picking, I don't know. Not using GPS. So I'm just freehand harvesting. Again, because I'm not doing straw collecting or anything like that on this particular field, I don't feel the need to do GPS with the harvester. If I was doing straw, if this was one of my fields and I was dropping straw and I was going to be collecting straw, yes, I would use GPS to make sure the lines were always straight. Make it easier for the baler or the loading wagon or whatever to follow me. Make it easier on them. I'm probably going to let him unload me as I come up the field. And I'm hoping he'll get completely full. Or 100,000 litres full. 30,000, not 100,000, 30,000 litres full. I wish that trailer was 100,000 litres. I really do. He wouldn't have to make quite so many trips, would he, to the sell point? He'd have only done one so far, based on what we've delivered so far. Just at 60% full. There's a fill level warning. Such a good mod. I like the fact that you can configure it yourself to what fill levels you want. I think originally it was set at 50 and 80%, which I felt was a little bit low. So I've set it to 60 and 85% for me. And that's also the settings I use on the multiplayer server as well. When I'm playing multiplayer, I have it set at that as well. So it gives you that, you know, when it at 85%, when it kicks in, puts on the beacons and everything, you've still got that little bit of a buffer, that little bit of a time for someone to come, jump in a tractor and come and unload you. There we go, 86%. Lights, beacons come on. I've put the pipe out. I'm going to trigger this guy to come and unload me. Just pause for a quick second. Again, he goes to where... He will go to wherever I put the pipe out first. That's where he goes, that spot. And then he will look from there to see where I've actually gone to. And then he'll drive up to me. I know a lot of people seem to complain about that functionality in auto drive. They're like, why does the tractor drive so far past me instead of unloading me? And it's literally because it has to have a trigger point. And it goes to that trigger point. So wherever the pipe goes out, or wherever the call to the unloader is made from, that is where it goes first. And from that point, come on, dude. Not too sure why he just didn't drive straight forward. Maybe I confused him a bit there. Come on then. He's not going to unload anymore because he's full. I was hoping to get him to 100% rather than 28,000, but it's not going to happen. He's going to go and unload. Again, mighty big field. I think what I'm going to do, as soon as Gerald has finished cultivating field 3, I might see if he'll come over, drive the harvester for me. And he can work with whoever's driving the grain cart. And those two can work together. finish this field, I will then jump in the other Lambo, the proper big Lambo, grab hold of the stone collector and go out and start doing some stone collecting on the 2 fields that have been cultivated. Because October I would like to start seeding. I would very much like to start seeding and then rolling. Obviously will need to be done after that. Right, because he's going to come back, I'm going to start over on this edge then. Now. I'm also looking at that fuel gauge and thinking, we're about a third. We've got about a third left. Maybe under a third of fuel. Not sure how long that's going to last. I tell you what, there's still flipping loads of this field to do though. There's still a lot of this field to harvest. It might be night time before I'm finished. Or it might be night time before Gerald's finished. If I hand it over to him. Maybe what I should do in future, or maybe I should get a, you know, I was thinking of just going back to what we were saying about trailers. Or should I get another trailer? Maybe I should get an actual grain cart, an auger wagon, that I could have unloading the harvester on the field, okay, but who offloads to the tractor and trailer at the side of the field. That could be an option, couldn't it? I could have an auger wagon with a slightly larger capacity, keep the harvester running, whilst the grain cart's going off to deliver 30,000 litres at a time. That's an option. One we've not looked into. Is there any auger wagons on sale? That's a straw blower. Oh, there's one of the new Antonio Carrero tractors, look. Cheap. That's a nice tractor. 1,156 horsepowers. That's a beast of a tractor. 408 grand. Yeah. I'd be interested in buying one of those. Right, again. We'll just switch off. Save fuel. Whilst we're waiting for the grain cart man. It's not Gerald actually now doing the cultivating, it's this nice lady. Whoever she is, I don't know her name. Where's Gerald gone then? Who knows? You're doing an alright job, aren't you? 63.4 hours of use on this tractor. 63.4 hours of working hours. I know that's not a lot in real life, on real machines, but in farm sim that's a lot, because it means this thing needs repairing so often and so frequently. It's quite a cash drain now. You know, just looking, oh, there's me looking at the second-hand tractor market. I mean, that thing's got 10.1 hours on it. That would be an upgrade. Would be an upgrade. Cost me a little bit more to get it with GPS on it. Obviously can't mount anything on the front, which is where we would lose out a little bit there over the class. But a nice tracked Fendt. I mean, with 1,156 horsepower, there is nothing this thing wouldn't pull. That would be full on beast mode, wouldn't it? I could afford it. I could afford to buy it, but that wasn't what we was looking for earlier, was it? I was going to look at auger wagons. I mean, there's a fairly... I mean, that one's 33,000 litre capacity, so that holds just as much as my grain cart. That holds 43, a little bit bigger. Oh, convey all. That's that massive thing. That's going to need a truck, and trucks don't work very well on this map. Haul master. Again, starts requiring quite a big tractor to pull some of this stuff. Demco. That's 77,000. Requires 400 horsepower. You've got the big Australian jobbies. Kinsey. That's 30,000. That's 59. 140. That's 37,000. So a little bit additional. Bit of buffer. But again, 300 horsepower. That's all. Those are all my options. Possibly something like that would do. To act as a go-between. You know? It would mean I'd have to set up the course a bit different. The course for the fields. Because I wouldn't have the auto guide. The auto drive guy wouldn't be driving for the harvester. He would literally just stop at that point. That field number point location. And it's the grain cart that would have to drive there then to unload. To overload into the other tractor. It's something we can experiment with maybe down the road a little bit. We'll have to do it on... We could try it on one of our own fields first, see if it works. Right, he's back. Good. Let's go and unload him. Let's go unload the harvester. Header. He's moving. Always a good sign. So he does want to, he actually wants to unload me now on the move. That's quite nice. Thank you for that, Mr. Tractor Man. And I'm going to continue. Now going up this one. Fire up the second practice session of Formula 1 on my iPad. I am sort of watching it out of the corner of my eye in the as I'm recording this. Who said men can't multitask, eh? Farm sim, recording, watching Formula 1. 3 things I'm doing at once. And of course breathing and living. I ought to have a bit of a drink as well, ladies and gents. Hydration, hydration, hydration. Nice bit of roller cola. Can't beat a bit of roller cola. As the great British comedian Peter Kay once famously said, why do mums buy crap pop? Why do mums buy crap pop? Roller cola. 8 litres for 4p. It's crap pop. No bugger to drink it. Got 40 litres of it downstairs. Is this? He says, I told her once, I told her, stop bringing it home. Stop bringing it home. And she replied, well, there's children starving in Ethiopia. And he says, well, send it to them. They wouldn't drink it. Let's send it back. He says, I woke up. Casualty. He says, on a drip. Filled with roller cola. My brain stores useless things. Mr. Helgi always laughs at me in multiplayer because my brain's very good at remembering completely useless information, like entire sections of dialogue and quotes from TV shows and movies and things like that, but doesn't actually hold any really useful information. But I guess I learnt a long time ago that what is useful information, really? How do you define useful information? You know? You think all the years you spent at school and all the things you were taught at school, and then you go to college and all the things you learn at college and are taught at college, and then you go off to the university after that, and you all the stuff you taught there and you learn there, and then you come away from all of that, and how much of that stuff do you ever use again? How much of it? I mean, apart from English, you know, that we learnt at school, and we was taught speaking, reading and writing, that's about all the useful information that I really have from my education. Everything I studied at college has absolutely no use to me in the real world anymore, because I never went down that road as a profession. Same with the university. Everything I did at university, it only applied to the first job I ever did, and I only did that job for 6 years, and then I moved on, and I've never ever touched, never needed those qualifications, never needed those bits of information ever again. Completely pointless. So some people would say, wow, you know, the 6 years you spent going to college and university after you left school was a complete waste of time. Yes, it was. That 6 years I could have been doing something else. I could have been, you know, doing this YouTubey thing a lot earlier in my lifetime. You know? Had I known, you know, if I had a DeLorean, if I had Doc Brown's DeLorean, and I could get it up to 88 miles an hour and go back in time, I'd probably tell younger me, start YouTubing and streaming a lot earlier. Be one of the first people to do it, you know, get in before everybody else. I was quite late to the party. When I first started streaming and doing, you know, gaming videos, that was back in 2012. And even then, I felt that was quite late to the party and I was quite behind. And I've been playing catch up ever since. Trying to build an audience, trying to build, obviously, subscribers and everything. And I feel I've been playing catch up ever since. It would have been nice to have started maybe 6 years earlier. If I had started doing it in 2006, maybe 2005, 2006, which was when I was at my career crossroads, where having finished my apprenticeship and then done 2 years outside my engineering apprenticeship, I decided engineering was no longer the deal for me. Certainly not the company that I was working for at the time. I certainly wasn't going to be able to do 50 years there like my father did. My father completed 50 years of service for the company that I did my apprenticeship at. But no, as I say, after 6 years I was done with it all. I was like, nope. So yeah, I would have liked to have maybe started this career avenue a lot earlier in life, because I wouldn't be playing quite so much catch up now, I don't think. I think if I, you know, because it's so saturated these days, isn't it? You know? Too sure what he's doing. Call to unload her. I mean, I'm full now, so you're not going to be able to drive with me and unload me, because you're probably going to get completely full now. Looks like you don't have a lot of capacity anyway in that trailer. That's not a good sign, is it? Terrible. You only emptied a third. It's definitely going to be dark on this map before I finish this harvesting. Well, I'll get to the bottom of the field. I'll switch off again to conserve fuel. And go and see how the lady doing the cultivating's getting on. See if she's any closer to finishing. And whether I can then maybe repurpose her somewhere else. So there we go. We are nearly, I would say nearly finished, but we're not. We're nowhere near finished, are we? Because look how much barley there is still to harvest. I'm at 93% now, ladies and gents. .99, 100% full. We'll stop there for a second. Cultivating lady. She's doing alright. Still got quite a lot of the field to do though. 5-metre cultivator. I wonder if Jeremy should dig into his big deep pockets of all that TV cash, all that TV money, and buy himself a bigger cultivator now. I know that one is very realistic to the one that obviously is in Clarkson's farm, the one that Jeremy used in the first season. It's about the same size and look, but I wonder if we can now move beyond that and start to upgrade a few of our tools and equipment, given the fact that these fields are quite big and we want to speed up some of these processes a touch. Again, was there any second-hand cultivators? I didn't check. Cultivator, that is 6 metres, same as what we've got, more or less. Disc harrow for shallow cultivation of fields. That's 8 metres. That's a little bit bigger than what we've got. Requires 390 horsepower though. I think the class can pull that. Yeah, the class could pull that. And it's only 28 grand. Extra 2 meters. Does that really make all that difference? I mean, the one thing about the shallow cultivating with the disc harrow, we wouldn't get stones getting pulled up, would we? Yeah, it's one of those. Tell you what, for 28 grand, that's not bad. Seeing as it's 72,500 normally, I can get one for... Oh, how does that work, ladies and gentlemen? 390 horsepower for an 8 metre. 360 horsepower for a 9.5. How is that less power? Pull a wider cultivator. 350 horsepower for 10 metres. $10 meters wouldn't be bad. $12.2 is probably a little bit big for this map. $9 meters, 250 horsepower. That sounds quite nice. 120 grand though. Something for me to think about and consider, isn't it? As we go a bit further down the road. Maybe look at upgrading the cultivator. I mean, don't get me wrong, this cultivator is doing a nice job, and so far the lovely worker has managed to do all the fields without missing a single bit. So probably shouldn't complain too much about this cultivator, because certainly with this tractor and the cultivator, the AI is handling everything perfectly, isn't missing bits. Even on the corners, on the sweepy bits, she's getting all of the sort of stuff. So perhaps I shouldn't complain too much about her. Whilst he's only just unloaded that truck. The trailer is only just unloaded. I mean, we're going to need the stone picker, that is a thing. We will need to get this moved over to the next field, because we're going to have to start following the cultivator around. There's my lovely cows. Yeah, I'm gonna have to start doing some rock collecting. A little bit of rock picking. Good job, his Lambo does it very quickly. Which is great. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have reached the end of the episode for today. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please make sure you give me that thumbs up on the video. Click the like button for me. Don't click the other button, because that doesn't really do anything these days, because you notice YouTube's pretty much turned that off. Clicking dislike doesn't really do anything now. YouTube have ceased its functionality. Doesn't have any effect on the video's performance. Doesn't have any effect on a creator in any way. It still counts as a interaction, a viewer interaction, so by doing it you're actually helping the creator out, actually, believe it or not. But yeah, leave me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're not already doing so, leave me a comment in the comment section down below, and share the video with everyone you can, everywhere you can. I will see you again very soon with some more Calmsden content, but for now, here on Calmsden Farm with me as I've just crashed into the tree, it is goodbye. So cheerio, everybody.